Good morning, everyone. These are what I like to call potato chip books, like just easy reads that are perfect for when your mental health is in a tough spot like mine is at the minute. Before I go through all these books, I just want to say thank you for all the comments you've put on my recent videos. I am in a really just crap spot at the minute with my mental health. I'm now 9 days off antidepressants, and I don't think I've got through a day in the last few days without just crying. But that's all right. It's actually weirdly nice to feel some emotions again. So I'll get there. But while my mental health is like this, I just struggle to consume any like hard literature, fantasy books and things like that, where I've got to try and remember people's names and faces and things like that. I just can't. So these are all books that I tend to consume when I'm just in a bad spot. A book that I've just finished actually is this one. Literally just finished this one last night. It is called The Curious Incidents of the Dog in the Nighttime. And this was like massively recommended by loads of people that follow me on my other socials. And I enjoyed it. It didn't change my life. Loads of people said it's like the best book they've ever read. And I thought it was a fun book. It's about a boy with Asperger's who's 15-year-old who finds a dead dog in one of his neighbour's front gardens with a pitchfork hanging out its belly. The story is about his journey to find out who murdered this dead dog. I find it just quite hilarious. It is interesting because this book was written 20 years ago, and what they know about Asperger's and autism then is obviously completely different to what they know about Asperger's and autism now. I think it is a good representation of neurodivergent brains, but it is also just one narrative. It is very stereotypically Asperger's. But it is good. It's a good time. I haven't rated it yet on my Fable. I'd probably rate it maybe 3.5 or 4 star. It was fun, and I didn't know what to expect from this book. If I'm honest, I went into it thinking it was going to be more of like a murder mystery, and it wasn't. So maybe that's what let it down a little bit for me. I think it is definitely marketed as a murder mystery, and I wouldn't say it is. If you've read it, you'll understand. If you haven't, just read it. Loads of people adore this book, and I still recommend it. I think 3.5 stars is a good review for a book. Now, next up is a few books that I'm just not sure where to go next. I'll be totally honest with you. The book I desperately want to read next is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. But it's not in my hands yet. Now, I went onto Vinted yesterday and bought it. If you don't know, I know a lot of you are from the UK. I've got a few followers in the States, and I'm sure that you out in the States, Canada, and Australia have got some version of like a used marketplace. Vinted actually sell books in the UK. And a lot of people message me and they're like, I didn't even know Vinted sell books. Yeah, they do. And a lot of people sell them on there for £1. Not only do they sell them for £1, but some of the people also do like bulk buy discounts. So you can bulk buy books for £1 and get 50% off. So you get a book at 50p. So I managed to find Yours Truly yesterday. I think it was £2, but the person did 25% discount. So I got it at discount, along with a few other books that I put into a bundle. So when they come through the post, I'll go through them all with you because there's some in there that I've never heard of, but I was like, yeah, I'll give them a go. I am in like a little romance, easy read vibe at the minute. I find that when I am the way that I am, they're just easy to consume. And that Abby Jimenez book it stuck with me, and I don't know why. I can't really read anything else at the minute without thinking that I just desperately want to get into Yours Truly. But I've got this on my bookshelf. This was sent to me kindly by Chloe, who is a girl that I absolutely adore. I don't know if she's watching my YouTube videos yet, but Chloe's just fantastic, and I'm going to see her in January at Meadowall. We're all meeting up, and we're just going to go book shopping in Meadowall. Annie, who is another girl who I adore, has arranged all this, and I'm just going to tag along because I love them. But Chloe sent me this off my wish list, and this seems like another nice, easy romance. And the blurb sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to read the back with you. Recently deceased Delphi Bookham has just met the one in the afterlife, but is devastated when a mix-up means he is immediately sent back to Earth. Delphi is given a second chance and accepts a deal in which she can return to her previous life in London and reconnect with the mysterious stranger she's sure is her soulmate. The challenge, she only has 10 days to find him. 10 days to make him fall for her. Oh, and he has no recollection of them ever having met. Whoa. That sounds cool. Kirsty Greenwood. I've never read her stuff before, but on the front of it, Josie Silver says it's a triumph, and Colleen Hoover said, this book has it all. Kirsty Greenwood has a new fan. Yeah, might read that. I also might read this, which is strange, because Colleen Hoover is not this author. This author is Frida McFadden. You can see these antidepressant come downs are real, can't you? My brain is fried. Frida McFadden, I've only read 2 of her books, and I know she's massively hyped online. I, so far, don't get the hype. I read The Housemaid and found the plot fairly predictable. And I've also been told that that book may or may not be like a copy and paste of another book that was previously released before that. However, I after that read Locked Door, and I did enjoy that, and I found it quite bingeable. I've just been told that Frida McFadden is like your go-to bingeable, easy read content, and this was sent to me in like a book box. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a video where I opened these like advent calendar books, and this was one of them. And the back I read yesterday actually. Sounds pretty cool. So I may or may not read that book next. Now these last 2 are interesting because I always tell myself that I want to learn more. I am not the most intelligent person, and I don't know much about everything. So I decided I want to start trying to read a bit more non-fiction. I am challenging myself to read at least 1 non-fiction book a month, and at the minute I've got 2 on the go. The reason I've got 2 on the go is because one of them is this one, and I know this is current affairs, and this massively affects a lot of people at the minute, and it's just something I wanted to learn more about, solely because I think the media, at least, pushes the narrative that they want us to see. And I just like to keep an open mind and try and see both people's perspective on this matter. Now, the reason I thought this book was interesting is because the authors of this book, one is Israeli and one is Palestinian. So I thought, what better place to start than a book that is co-authored by 2 people on opposing sides of this conflict. So I've only read 1 chapter of this. I'm actually trying to read just a chapter a day because there's just a lot of history and stuff that you need to consume with this. Now, the second book that I'm reading is Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. This just felt like the right time to pick this book up. I don't normally read many self-help books and things like that, but at the minute, I'm a big advocate when you are struggling with your mental health and when you've got issues, that you just need to get any help that you can. And why wouldn't I try reading this book? Because sometimes I'm trying to find reasons to stay alive, and if this book can give them me, I'm all for it. Now, I get that some people might look at this, people that don't struggle with mental health, and they'll be like, well, you've got 3 kids and a wife and a fantastic life. Like, I know that. But frustratingly, depression lies to you, and it tells you that none of them things matter. And there's actually a really good excerpt that I underlined in this book that explain it really well. So I want to read this to you, and then I want to talk to you about what I am doing today, which I'm so excited for. I'm going to read you the first page of this book because it's only short, but you're going to have to bear with me because I was that kid at school that like English teacher would be like, Tyrone, can you read your excerpt, please? And I'm like, yeah, of course I can. I've got this. The frog with the... Yeah, so that's just me. 13 years ago, I knew this couldn't happen. I was going to die, you see, or go mad. There's no way I could still be here. Sometimes I doubted I'd even make the next 10 minutes, and the idea that I'd be well enough and confident enough to write about it in this way would have been just far too much to believe. One of the key symptoms of depression is to see no hope, no future. Far from the tunnel, having light at the end of it, it seems like it's blocked at both ends, and you are inside it. So if I could have only known the future, that there would be one far brighter than anything I'd experienced, then one end of the tunnel would have been blown to pieces, and I could have faced the light. So the fact that this book exists is proof that depression lies. Depression makes you think things that are wrong. And that, yeah, it just hit. I think that's so true that when you are so low and just feeling the way that you feel when you're suffering with depression, anxiety and things like that, sometimes your brain tells you things that aren't true, and the view is never clear when you're in your deepest depths of depression. And it's just about climbing out of them moments. So this for me so far has been fantastic. Today's day 2 and I've just read the second chapter and it's just insane. So that's my plan at the minute, is to read one of them. Now, if Yours Truly by Javier Jimenez comes anytime soon, I'm absolutely picking that up. Going on to what I'm doing today, and I'm super buzzing for this. I have taken a little step back away from my other socials because I find YouTube is fantastic in a way that it's long form content. People want to hear more stuff about my life and they're not just here for entertainment. The pressure of going on to other short form content, social media, and putting out entertainment for people is just too much at the minute. So I've taken a little step back from that. But about a week ago, I announced to everyone on there that I wanted to start some sort of like group for people that suffer with social anxiety, depression, anything that's keeping them housebound, because I'm a big believer that one of the worst things you can do is hide away from your problems and sit at home. Although it might feel comfy and easy to just sit at home and read books, which is what I've done for the last 9, 12 months, I've also gained 5 stone and my mental health is as bad as it's ever been. So I'm trying my best to get out, sniff fresh air, listen to birds, look at trees, and just touch grass. So I've set up a group with other people that follow me on social media. And today's the first day of that. So at 2 o'clock today, I'm heading out to Rother Valley, which is just a local country park. And I'm going to meet some people that follow my page. And we're just going to go for a walk. It's going to get some people out of the house. I appreciate that a lot of people that really struggle with social anxiety probably won't be there today. People can see that other people are starting to come out and join along. I just hope it gets people out of the house, because I know I need it at the minute. And hopefully, you know what, if it helps one other person, if one other person gets out of the house and it makes their day better, then it's been a success. So I will record some footage while I'm out there, and then hopefully by the time I've done that and come back, I can tell you what book I've started next. So yeah, I'll check in with you in a bit. I'm going out on my bike. Before I do, how fit am I? My wife got so lucky. I don't know how she resists it. And I imagine that I'm probably going to end up getting a lot of contact on my page after seeing this video from like Prada and Gucci and stuff, seeing if they can collab with clothes, but I'm not really kind of into that. So I know that I'm a bit of a sex magnet and stuff, but yeah, this is a book channel all in all. But while I get my bike ready, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about mental health, because oh Jesus Christ, everything just hurts. When you get to this age, yeah, aches and pains are real. But I see loads of people when they talk about mental health just saying, you just need to get a bit of exercise or eat some better food. And unfortunately, it's not that easy. Now, this time a year ago, I was 14 stone 4, I was at gym 6 days a week, and I could run easily 10 mile, 100 mile on my bike. Not this one, this kind of bike here. And that's when I was suicidal. Just at gym and eating chicken and veg doesn't stop the fact that I was abused as a child and I need to deal with that abuse. But I do want to try and shift a bit of weight, because I get out of breath walking upstairs, and that's not a good sign. So gosh, I picked a new book, by the way, everyone. I've picked that romance one, something about afterlife, because I'm just obsessed at the minute with Abby Jimenez, and I think until Yours Truly comes from Vinted, I'm just not going to be happy. Best believe that when Yours Truly does come, I'll probably just put whatever book down that I've got and just pick it up and start reading it. So yeah, I'm going to go out on my bike. I'm not going to film any footage, because none of you care about watching a fat bald bloke ride a bike. It's not a bike channel, is it? I'm back. What a sweaty mess I am. That was disgusting. I know some people say, go and exercise and stuff, it's very good for you, it gives you like a dopamine hit. I'm happy that I've gone out and got on my bike, but double whoppers give me a dopamine hit. Chocolate spread, Nutella, that gives me a dopamine hit. But my thought process behind this is, if I keep going out and doing these stupid bike rides, like that one with 25 miles, took like 2 hours, if I keep going out and doing them, then I can reward myself with chocolate spread. So anyway, I stink now. I'm going to go and get a shower and clean myself, make myself look a bit more presentable, because in about an hour's time, we're going to go and meet all them lot. All this stuff, by the way, that I'm doing, where I just chat rubbish to you, tell me if it bores you. Because it helps me. I like coming and just talking absolute garbage to you. And that's why I think I absolutely love YouTube, because it's just very personal. But if you don't enjoy it, just say to me, Tyro, shut up, just talk about books, please, because that's all we're here for. Before I talk to you about the first few chapters of this book that I'm currently reading, I'll just show you what I've got through post. So a lovely follower on here, actually, sent me these through the post. It is a gift from Sharon Corson. Now, the first one is 14 Days, which is this one. I'd never heard of it until yesterday. It says 14 Days is not on your wish list, but I thought you might like it. I'm currently reading it. I've never read a book where so many authors have collaborated together. I hope you enjoy it. So this looks like an absolute wild time. Apparently all these authors here have collabed on this book, which is madness. Like, that's a lot of authors. I can't imagine how this is going to work, because surely it's just a bunch of authors in a room just going, no, that's not right, this is right, and just kicking off, because, yeah. Like, who's going to decide plot? But I'm told that it's all about like self-isolation and stuff, and maybe something to do with COVID and lockdown. 1 week into lockdown. Yeah, so it's lockdown related. And I don't want to, I want to go into this a bit more blind because, yeah, it seems crazy. Like that many authors in one book. So if you've read that, tell me what you thought of it. And the next one that came through was actually a book that I put on my wish list based on the recommendation of one of you lot. So someone messaged me and said, put this book on your wish list, Flowers for Algernon. So I did. I'm a bit of a sheep, so usually if someone says to me, put a book on your wish list, it's rate good, I just do it because I just want to fit in. But 9 times out of 10, when you tell me to do it, I read it, and I'm like, whoa, that's insane. So I'm looking forward to that one. It looks a short one. I think it might be like sci-fi-ish. It says Charlie Gordon, IQ of 68, is a floor sweeper and a gentle butt of everyone's joke until an experiment in the enhancement of human intelligence turns him into a genius. But then Algernon, the mouse whose triumphal experimental transformation preceded his, fades and dies, and Charlie has to face the possibility that his salvation was only temporary. Seems crazy. Yeah, I'll read it. Now, getting on to this one, The Love of My Afterlife. I'm only 2 chapters in. So chapter 1, it's a girl basically in a flat, and she choked on a burger. But the way it's written, it's first person POV, which I love, but it's just written in such a funny way. Like, she almost has banter with herself, if that makes any sense at all. And I love that. And then all of a sudden, she's like no longer here and she's with Jesus. But when she wakes up with Jesus, she's in heaven. But heaven's like not how you'd imagine it. It's like reality. And she starts talking to this afterlife therapist. So it's a therapist that's in the afterlife that helps you try and come to terms with the fact that you ain't here anymore. You're with Jesus. And the banter between them two already. I'm only 2 chapters in. It's crazy. It's so funny. I didn't know what to expect. I went into this thinking I was going to get like a little cute, cosy romance. And I don't think this is going to be it. I've got a feeling she's probably going to, based on the blurb on the back of the book, she's going to meet the love of her life in the afterlife. And he's going to get accidentally sent back to Earth, like to real life. And then she's going to get a chance to go back there and get 10 days to try and remind him who she is and then make him fall in love with her. I don't know if she's then going to get to live on Earth. I struggle a lot of times with books like this where it's not realistic because I'm like, that's never going to happen. But then I think to myself, Ghost is one of my favourite films growing up. That's not real. That can't happen unless you believe in ghosts. So yeah, I'm just going to go into it with an open mind. So far, so good. Banter's wicked. The therapist is hilarious. Yeah, very good. Hey up then, good morning. It's the day after the day before. So the last time I spoke to you, I'd gone on that mental health walk, and that was class, very good. But anyway, today, my plan was to get up, take kids to school, go home, get some reading done. But Ruben's got a bad leg, so I took him to the doctor's this morning. That threw a bit of a spanner in works, but he's now at school. And I put 2 of my library books. I got Abby Jimenez's Part of Your World and Happy Place by Emily Henry from library. And I think they're due back or I'm going to get fined. So I was going to take them this morning and I put them at the bottom of the stairs to remind me then. However, one of the side effects for me coming off these antidepressants is my mind is just all over the place. For one, I'm procrastinating, and I just talk about stupid stuff. Like at the minute, I'm doing it now and I realise that I am. I'm just talking, and I can't help it. So I hope you'll forgive me and I hope you don't leave me because my dad left me. And it upsets me. Oh, please love me, Dad. Anyway, yeah, I forgot. My mind went all off. I'm so sorry. And I forgot the book. So I'm going to go back home now, pick them books up and take them back before I get fined. I also want to see if I can find Yours Truly, because even though I've bought it on Vinted, I'm an impatient person and I just want to read that so much. I think it might be my favourite book this year. It's crazy, isn't it? My first ever romance book that I think is marketed at women has been my favourite book this year. That or Dungeon Crawler Carl. I don't know. It depends on my mood. But anyway, the book that I'm currently reading, this Love of My Afterlife, whatever it's called, it's very good. It's so good. I'm only 6 chapters in, but it's so refreshing because not just romance, but a lot of books that you read, a lot of characters are like perfect, aren't they? They're great fit, men are sexy, women are sexy, they're all experienced in bedroom, even if they're 18-year-old, they're just like absolute wizards in bedroom. But this is different. So this girl, I've got a snotty nose, and I'm not even going to edit this out because such is life. This girl is described in a way where like her hair's all matted, she needs it washing, little things like that where she's just not perfect. I class myself as like aesthetically challenged, and my wife always says to me, stop being so hard on yourself. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to call myself fat and ugly anymore. I'm going to call myself aesthetically challenged. And the way that this girl's described in this book is exactly the same. But not only that, she's a virgin. This is crazy. She's like in her 20s and she's a virgin, and I absolutely love it because I've not come across any book where there's a bit of romance in it where a girl's just got no experience. So far it's absolutely class. I'm not going to give any spoilers away because I think you should read it, but it is what I thought it were going to be. So she's gone to the afterlife, she's got this therapist, this man comes into the afterlife by accident. He's actually a dentist and he's fell asleep and he's snuck into this weird laundrette of an afterlife with this weird afterlife therapist, and she's like, he's not meant to be here, he needs to get back home. So she sends him home and she's like, wait, he were fit, I need him. So she goes, well, you can go back if you want, but you've only got 10 days and he ain't got a clue who you are. So you've got 10 days to convince this man that he loves you and get a snog off him. If you can get him to snog you, you can stay back there. The banter in it is wicked. It's not bantering yet as much as the Abby Jimenez books, but it is good. And the therapist, the afterlife therapist, is hilarious. She's right good. And yeah, I'm just obsessed. Am I now a romance girly? Is that what they call them? Romance girlies? Woo, hey bae, slay all day. I might be. Who knows? So, yeah. Again, I'm doing this thing now where I just keep talking. And I hope you still love me for it. This medication. Talking about medication, this side effect or whatever this is that's happening to me, it's so frustrating because when I went to the doctors and said, look, I'm suicidal, I didn't say, my wife did. My wife basically said, look, my husband is in a really dark place and I need you to help him because I can't. They're very quick to put you on medication, but no one ever sat down with me and said, look, these will be the side effects of your medication. But that's not the frustrating thing, because I get that there's a booklet that I can read through myself. But unfortunately, when you're in a dark place, the last thing you're thinking about is, let me check these T's and C's on these meds. They do not talk to you at any point about how hard it is to get off these meds, which I think is poor. It's just really poor. There should be more support and there should be more just honesty about what it is to be on medication, because I think they just assume a lot of people are going to jump on meds and just stay on them forever. And I looked, and the antidepressants, they recommend that you only stay on them for a couple of years. And, you know, I know that some people need them for life, and I'm not against that. It's just, for me, I want to get off them. Like, I want to feel again. I want to feel all the emotions. At the minute, I'm definitely feeling the emotions. But anyway, yeah, so more support and more open and honesty about these medications, please, doctors. And that's why I'm documenting this part of that journey, not just talking about books all the time, because I think it's important to be transparent so that you know what to expect if you decide to ever come off antidepressants. I still have propanolol at home for anxiety, but even them I'm not taking. I'm just trying to challenge myself. I'm a big believer in pushing yourself to do things that you're anxious about, and I just don't think I'll ever get over my anxieties and social anxiety if I keep just taking tablets to help me. I want to learn how to cope on my own. So yes, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to go and pick them 2 books up, go to the library, have a nebby around there, probably sit and have a coffee somewhere on my own, read a bit of my book, and then go home and see what the day brings. Oh, what a dirty, snotty mess I am. Oh, I'm crying again. It's just this medication. It is bloody hard. I wish I could explain what this is, because I feel so much gratitude for everything around me. And I thought I'd do this little part of the video and talk to you, because it's one of my biggest frustrations, and I'm sure I'm not alone in looking around you. And I look around me and I see so much positivity. My wife is beautiful, my kids are healthy and fantastic. I'm surrounded by a family of over 100,000 people across all my social media accounts. And I am so, so grateful and happy, genuinely happy. And it sounds crazy saying that, as someone that suffers with depression, like, I can feel happiness now. I'm 9-10 days now off this medication. I am starting to feel emotions, but the emotions are so heightened. And I just jumped on. I found my books, by the way, they're at the bottom of the stairs. But I just jumped on to do a quick video for my other socials because it's my birthday in 2 days' time. And as part of my birthday request, 1 minute, I've got snot all over my face. I can't find out to wipe it off. Oh, I might as well wipe it off my hand because I'd do it off camera anyway. As part of my birthday request, I've took my Amazon wish list off my page because I had a lot of messages from people saying, I know your birthday's coming up soon. And I know what that means. So I've decided to remove my Amazon wishlist off my page. And I'm not going to put it back on for a while because I know a lot of cheeky buggers out there will just wait until I put it back on and buy me something. But I wanted to do a video just to ask people that were messaging me about my birthday, just to pay it forward and to reach out to people that are struggling within their own communities and within their own families. Because I'm in such a fortunate position that I've got over 100,000 people that I can fall on my dark days. There's only so much my wife can take. I don't think people who live with people with mental health problems get enough mentions. I talk to my wife a lot about my mental health problems, and I always say that she's my superhero. She is literally like my hero, because however much I struggle, I know what's going on in my head. And I have to deal with that. But my wife sits and watches me cry. She holds me like a baby. She deals with my snappy, erratic moments. And she ain't got a clue what's going on in my head. So she can't begin to imagine it. All she can do is just think, this is going to get better, and support me. And I think the people who live with people with mental health problems are just such heroic, strong people. But not everyone's got the blessings that I've got. Not everyone's got a good foundation around them to keep them going. So that's why I took it off my wish list anyway. Yada, yada, yada. I'm babbling again. But because I need it. So yeah, same goes to you lot. A few people have commented on me mentioning that my birthday is coming up soon on previous videos. You can't buy me out. So even if you wanted to, it can't happen. Pay it forward if you will. Reach out to someone that needs help. If you see a homeless person, if you've got no money to give them or food to give them, just talk to them. Because sometimes a bit of conversation can make a big difference. If you see a small creator and they've got a wish list on there and you can see the suffering, just pass it on forward from me. Because I've got everything I need in life for me to get through. And I thought this was quite fitting. I read another snippet out of this book today, and it was just beautiful. It said, "The bottom of the valley never provides the clearest view." I don't often annotate books, but yeah, I annotated that because it's just so true. You know, I like to think I'm quite emotionally a strong person, and even though at the minute I am rock bottom, I know that better days are ahead. Like, I know that I won't be like this forever. I know that 10 days off medication is playing all sorts of tricks in my head. And it says on page 1 of this book, actually, it says something about depression lies to you. Here we go. So it says, depression lies. Depression makes you think things that are wrong. And I think that's so true. I think when you do suffer with mental health problems and depression, it just tricks you. And it sucks absolute bum. Because it makes you think that brighter days aren't ahead. And although my brain at the minute tells me, you know, happiness isn't coming. You know, I look at my kids at the minute and I look at my wife and I can't feel joy or see joy. But I know that is the chemical imbalance or whatever this is in my head. Like, I'm absolutely going to look at them kids in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, however long it takes. I know I'm going to look at them and feel real joy. And I look back to snippets, like there have been little pockets of moments recently where I've looked at my kids and I know that I've felt happiness. But yeah, I'm just excited to be able to see it all the time. I'm proud of myself. I think it's important that you are proud of yourself. Anyone that battles with mental health problems are the strongest people on this planet, because anyone can go to the gym and PR a bench press eventually. Like, your body's designed in that way that you will just get stronger and stronger. You go running, eventually you're going to get quicker and quicker. You ride a bike, you will go longer and longer. There's no training for this. And I think I'm slowly learning that this might never go, but I've just got to teach myself and give myself the tools to be able to learn how to live life, fighting these inner demons and things like that. And I'm excited for that, because every challenge that I've set myself so far in life, I've succeeded in. And someone messaged me recently and said, every single bad day you have had so far in your life, you've beaten. If that's not motivation to know how strong I am and how strong you are, then what is? Because it's so true. You know, if you're watching this video today, any bad day you've ever had in life, you've come through. So that is what I say to this brain of mine. Anyway, I am in a good place. I'm just very emotional at the minute. I'm going to go and grab them books. I'm going to go into town, and then I will get some reading done. I know this video's actually gone off on a whim. It's not really been much about books. But this is my life, and this is one of the reasons that I'm leaning heavily at the minute on YouTube, is because I feel like the other format of content that I provide is very much entertainment. People look at me as a means of entertainment, to do my silly dragon noises, to do silly videos where I put wings on coat hangers and stuff and make them laugh. But sometimes that can actually be worse for my mental health, because it feels like I've got nowhere to lean or turn to. Whereas the YouTube videos are just massively helping me as much as they are helping others. I get a lot of messages from people saying thank you so much. It helps me just as much. I promise you, it's not completely selfless. It is selfish as well, because I need this as much as you need this as well. And yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to come on here and put on a bravado and just come on here and go, here's a book recommendation, here's another book recommendation, because that's not my life. And I like to think that YouTube is more than just me coming on here and talking book recommendations. It's real life, and there are too many pages on here who have got a beautiful aesthetic and come on here and portray a perfect life. And I think it's dangerous. It just makes you feel rubbish about your own life. It almost makes you feel like there's something wrong with your own life, and there isn't. I've got mould on my wall in my bedroom. I'm going to shut up now and go and take these books back and see if I can get another book, because books make me happy. Hey up, me again. Before I wrap up this video, I want to talk to you about how fantastically brilliant this book is. I started doing this video as some sort of like vlog, but also trying to encourage people to read books that they might not necessarily read, especially men, because I think these books are undoubtedly marketed at women, and a lot of men just feel a certain way about going out in public and holding a book that looks like this. I'm lucky that I just don't care. Come here then, you want attention, I get it. Yeah, I just don't care. I've been suicidal. So I keep saying this to my wife, like, when you've been suicidal, you realise that certain things just don't matter in life. And one thing that don't matter in life is what people think about you. Hence me coming online and crying in front of you all and not editing them things out, because I just really don't care. If 10,000 people watch a video and 9,000 of them laugh and think, oh, what a muppet, but it helps 1,000 people, I'm all for it. So this book, I've already told you that the main character is imperfect. I love the fact that she's imperfect. Sky, stop being... I know you want to be a star at a show, but maybe next time. This video, I'm afraid, is about books, not about dogs. So, yeah, she's imperfect, she's irrational, she's maybe even a bit socially awkward sometimes. But I think the girl's name's Merit. The girl that is like the afterlife therapist, I'm sure her name's Merit. But she's hilarious, like properly funny. And I've tried reading recently a few fantasy books, and I couldn't get into them. My mind just couldn't take in names, characters. It was too much. So I thought, right, I'll pick up another easy read. And this should just becoming a bit more than an easy read. Usually I'd read this kind of book and I'd be like, that's not, it's not realistic. That can't happen, so I can't relate to it. But I don't think you always have to relate to a book. You can sometimes just pick up a book and read it for what it is. I think this would make a fantastic film as well, by the way. But yeah, I highly recommend everybody try and read this book. It's called The Love of My Afterlife, Kirsty Greenwood. I'm only 57 pages in, but at this rate, I'm going to be chucking out another 5-star read. I think coming off this medication has made me like a very generous book reviewer. 5-starred Abby Jimenez as Part of Your World. I'm probably going to 5-star this already, just because I don't 5-star books based on how a book's written or just the plot. I 5-star a book based on how it makes me feel. If I finish a book and I think, wow, that made me happy, that made me laugh, I'm going to 5-star it. I don't care about plot holes and perfect writing, because, yeah, that's just who I am. But anyway, I think I'm about wrapped up for this video for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to see if I can have a sip of my coffee without Sky banging it out my head. What do you reckon, Sky? Oh, a face full of ass. Is that what we're doing? I'm drinking my coffee and yours pouring your bum in my face? Yeah? And a kiss? Don't kiss your dogs. My dog eats poo sometimes, but again, I just don't care.